Hey everyone, it is Evan here from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, June 20th. We're intraday right now, and this is our Trade Ideas video of the week. Every Wednesday, I've been bringing about half a dozen or so names in a short format just like this to you. Some names that I'm watching from my watch list, strong technical stocks, all on the long side, but names that are holding up well, basing out, are still fairly actionable, and some names that I think are worth paying attention to. So 6 names to cover today, 4 from my list, 2 from our partners over at Investors Business Daily. And you're looking at the first idea is EGAN. So this is a small cap name, tech space software play. If we zoom out first, you can see this has been in a monster uptrend since August of 2017, and I think it's got about a 600 or so % gain in the past 18 or so months. So it's covered quite a lot of ground. But for you momentum players, or if you like the story here specifically in this name, which I am not personally familiar with, this is a time to pay attention to it. It has pulled off of highs. It topped out around $14. It got as low as $11.80 just last week, and it is consolidating in this nice little flag kind of downward channel here. Let the moving averages have caught up to price, and it is a time now where we can start to pay attention to it, and we have a better sort of level to trade against if you like this type of setup. If you like these pullbacks, look for that breakout above, really $13 if you want to cheat in early. Some traders like to, wait till about the midpoint, $13.50. Other traders like it to clear to the new pivot highs here. So whatever your style is, EGAN I think is an interesting name. Number 2 on our list, there were lots of retail plays today. I kind of surfaced up one of my favorites is ROST here, R-O-S-T. So this is kind of breaking so the highs back in January of this year, but it's also breaking this little consolidation here. We tried to clear highs just a week or so ago above the $86 level. It failed, pulled back, and now it looks like we're making a second attempt here. So if we zoom out, you can see ROST has had another big run that started in August of 2017, went from $50 all the way up to $85, and then it spent this entire year consolidating, and it's recently now trying to make a move back to highs here and clearing out and continuing this long-term trend. So ROST, especially for you longer-term traders there, a weekly basis, if you're really looking to trend follow something for a bigger move, I think ROST looks interesting. Also check out some of these other retail names. There's a lot that look at least similar. They've been strong recently, been pulling back, and are starting to perk up more recently. Next up, ADSK. So here's another potential breakout play. We'll just go to the weekly chart first. You can see again, this has been in a long-term uptrend. It topped out here back in February of this year. It spent this time consolidating, and now it's making this second, really a third attempt at breaking out to new highs. And it so far is this week. It's up 3.29%, clearing above this 140, 141 level. Made it a first attempt this Monday, pulled back a bit yesterday, and now is continuing higher today. So ADSK getting a kind of multi-month breakout underway this week. And finally, from my list, kind of covering all spectrums here in terms of asset class and large cap, small cap. Spotify here is a recent IPO. Just came public back in April of this year. So it is a young issue, but for those of you who like trading IPOs, these new issues that don't have a lot of history, they tend to move fast, can cover a lot of ground quite quickly. Spotify here recently made new all-time highs back in last week, last Thursday on the 14th. It did pull back and sort of did a nice retest here of these prior highs of the initial kind of offering day here, the highs that we printed. And again, we ran into this level here and failed briefly a couple of weeks later. Well, it cleared that. We had a little bit of a retest of it yesterday, and now we're getting a kind of a swift move back to the upside, breaking this trend line. So Spotify, again, another pullback sort of setup here, but I think it's quite interesting for you traders out there as well. So those are from my list. The next two names are from IBD's list. I grab them from either the IBD 50 list, or I personally like their leadership list, where they go for, or they narrow down and qualify the strongest stocks in each sector of the market. So first up is SUPN So here, the close right now, or the intraday movement, we have pulled off of the highs of the day, but we're tracking at some pretty high volume here. And just generally speaking, even if it's not ready today, it's again just a name to pay attention to for your watch list. It's something that has had some strong relative strength recently. This is the long-term trend here, so up and to the right, moving just like we want it to. And you can see it's just consolidating with some clear support coming in right around 53.50 or so. So we're making our way back to the upper end of the range. We broke out today above this kind of 2-week sideways tight pattern here, and we are again kind of re-challenging, potentially heading up to these old highs. So SUPN, even if it's not actionable today, something I think is worth watching in this sideways channel. And finally, BZUN, I know this one's a little more of a spotlight name that I think many people are looking at, but again, can't ignore this type of action. It pulled off of recent highs here over the past 5 or 6 trading days. It had this nice kind of hammer, move all the way down to 56 and change yesterday, reversed strongly into the close, and now it's getting that follow through to the upside. So BZUN, again, zoomed out here, you can see long-term uptrend, recently broke out of this consolidation. I think this was a Trade Ideas setup for us several weeks ago back in May, but it did get this nice kind of flat box breakout here. It trended another 10 or so points to the upside. Now it's pulled back and it looks like it wants to continue higher. So another kind of flag pullback pattern there for you pullback traders. So that's what I got today. 6 names. Again, do your own homework. Make sure they fit your strategy. Check those earnings dates. All of the usual caveats when it comes to these trade idea videos. And if you do like BZUN, SUPN, some of those types of setups, check out IBD's stock list offerings, leadership offerings. They get a couple of different subscriptions. Links are in the description of this video. So thank you so much. As always, as a reminder, this Friday schedule is going to be tough for me to get out the usual weekend market recap. So I may punt it this week and come back fresh next week, or I'll try and get something out, squeeze something out, maybe a Saturday morning if I have some time. So thanks again for watching. Happy trading out there, and talk to you next time.